Wow. I trust that God is turning lives around everywhere, all over the world.
When God calls a man, God does not call a lazy man.
On heavenly things. Yes. Prayers be answered when we are not ready to obey God that instituted marriage. How do I help him to do well? Ẹni tí ó yà wá, kò sẹ́ni tí ó yà wá, kò sẹ́ni tí ó yà wá, kò sẹ́ni tí ó. Yes, so it's Family Matters. Welcome to Family Matters. I remain your host, Pastor Dr. Mrs. Julie Onoviona. Don't forget, it's a program packaged strictly for your family, for God to give you a wonderful home, a home where God is at the center of it all. I know it's 2023. This year, God is going to daze you with his blessings because it's a year of double blessings. Double blessings all around, financially, emotionally, maritally, spiritually, all around blessings. So expect it. Expect it because it's going to happen. Well, today we're going to be discussing a very serious matter. 2022, there were a lot of cases on youth restlessness, and it has been discovered that a lot of parents failed in the area of our duties. Most of the fathers are absentee fathers. They are never available. Most of the mothers are busy doing nothing. We don't have time for these children. We don't know the kind of relationship they keep. In fact, so the one so worrisome is this one they call Genzy generation. Genzy generation are children born from 20,000 upward. This generation believe that they are created to do things differently, and in the course of doing things differently, they are being influenced on social media to do terrible things we've never heard of. Many of them are transgender. Many of them who are female want to become male, and they even went to the extent of removing their private parts. Some of them are into fraud. Some of them are into hookup. A lot of things are happening that requires we cry out. As parents, have you done it right? As parents, are you seeing what I am seeing? Well, with me today are two beautiful guests that are experienced in relationship. Well, I'll be going on break. When I come back, I'll introduce them. Still on this topic, because it's a mind-boggling problem that needs answers. I will be right back. Yes. Wow. I trust that God is turning lives around everywhere, all over the world.
When God calls a man, God does not call a lazy man.
On heavenly things. Yes. Prayers be answered when we are not ready to obey God that instituted marriage. How do I help him to do well? Welcome back. I still remain your host, Dr. Mrs. Julie Onoviona. Don't forget to link us with us on social media, on all the platforms at Pastor Julie. Today with me on my right hand side is a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, and a child of God. She's been married for 15 good years, and she's married with beautiful children. Welcome, Mrs. Omolara Ayola.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank
You
you.
look so elegant.
Thank you. It's
so
an honor.
beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I also have the husband of only one wife.
Yes.
With beautiful children. Is no other person, Mr. Ayobomi Adeyemo.
Thank you so much, man. I know you've wanted me to be on the program for long, but finally this year we're
Yes,
here.
thank God. The dream has come to pass.
Yes, thank you
He's
so
also
much.
happily married. He's 9 years in marriage. I decided to bring this age group because those we're seeing right now are people who got married from year 2000 upward.
Yes.
And I am sure you are in that category.
Yes, please.
2000 upward.
2006.
Where we have been labeled the old generation. My marriage is.
But the experience counts.
So they claim we are old generation. We don't know what we are doing. So now I have the Gen Z generation parents. Gen Z generation parents. I'll start with you, Ayo. You will agree with me that a lot of things have gone bad in the society. For instance, some weeks ago, I came across a story of an 18-year-old girl and 19-year-old girl who sold their ovaries for 100,000 naira each.
Terrible.
And in the process of removing the ovaries, the other parts of the body, organs were removed. The kidney, liver, and all those things were removed. You know, the most annoying thing is these children are children from a bishop. From investigation, the youth said their parents don't have time for them. Many of them claim their parents don't even know the kind of relationship they are into. What do you want to say about this? Because
Well, it's a very big issue, especially in this society that we find ourselves. You know, like you rightly called the generation Z. Somehow the parenting has, try as much as possible to tilt to absorb what they believe in, absorb what they understand, and try as much as possible to pamper them so that they can have a good life. But in doing that, we've also lost the balance, a way of balancing family time from career life. You've seen many parents, especially in this generation, yes, I want to go out there, I cater for my kids, I want them to have the best of lives, put them into the best schools, and they've forgotten that, even if you eventually get this money and you don't train your child, that's money you use in building those beautiful homes, the mansions, name it, whatever name you call it. Those buildings, these kids you don't train, will eventually still sell them out. And that is what we see in our society now. I've seen not once, not twice, we've seen cases where parents, indulge their kids, even in consuming alcohol, taking substance. It just, in a way to prove to the social media community that, yes, I'm a WhatsApp family, I'm a WhatsApp father, I'm a WhatsApp parent. You see them, some women, they will even put the bottle for the kid to take, it, probably on the age kid. What am I saying? Maybe 6 months, 7 months, a year, 2 years. They are all on the social media. You see them do that. And you want to wonder, you want to ask yourself, how did we get to this situation? How did we find ourselves in this
I
life?
saw one on social media who gave the little child, should be around 3 years, cigarettes
To smoke.
to smoke, and the child was smoking
And
cigarettes.
you hear background noise, people will be laughing.
Yes.
And
They
you
celebrate such things.
That is what we face in the society right now. I mentioned something that is very critical: balancing, your career and your home time.
And your home.
It has become a thing of concern. Most people, you see, we call ourselves career men, career women, career wife, career husband, and we forget that after there is no strength again. After we are home, you fall back to the family, and if you don't train these kids, they will definitely abscond. They will leave you and leave you with your problem.
That is it.
If you don't train them well. So every parent must know where to stop and when to stop. Sometimes job will take you away, might travel, but that few minutes that you want to spend with them, you must have a quality time. Spend that time with them alone. Many parents are guilty, maybe because the gadgets, the phones that we have here and there, even on the dining set, instead of you to concentrate and talk to your kids, tell them, ask them questions. How was school today? What did they teach you? This, that. You will see parents engaging.
They don't have time for
on phone.
In fact, they'll drive the children away.
When you're distracting them, they just say, please, go. I'm working. I'm doing this business. I'm trying to finish this contract. So go and meet your mother. And the mother too. The mother will do this. The mother cannot capture the whole thing. There's a figure. Everything. There's a father figure that you must definitely step into as a father, and there's a mother figure that you must step into. There's no way you can, we can't be confused like the foreign countries and say let them choose the sex they want. We know the sex. God created us as male and female, and it's for a purpose. So you must step into that your particular function as a father or a mother and play it very well. Play it very well. So a lot when you look around, you just want to wonder, you want to ask yourself questions. And the question is, how do we, because even if you are not indulging your children in this particular act and you have time for them, but they still mingle with people outside.
Sure.
Those kids do not have good background. They might influence them if you are not careful enough. When I was growing up, I used to hear my parents tell their neighbors here and there that this child is your child. This child is for the community. We train this child together, because if this child spoils, it's going to affect your own child too. So please, let's put our hands together and train this child. But today, if a teacher touches a child, you see the parent come to school, even harass the proprietor, harass the teacher,
arrest the so-called teacher involved.
So it's a big thing that is worrisome that we must really address.
Thank you, Ayo. Lara, you heard what Ayo just said, and most times we pamper our children to have a good life. In fact, you see parents buying phone worth ₦1 million for a child that is not up to 12 years.
It's sad.
And it's part, we saw one on social media last year, a child they went on excursion to Dubai.
Yes.
And while they were in Dubai, because she had access to phone, she was sending her nude pictures. And from there, about 5 or 6 boys raped her. And she had the gut to even send it on social media because the mother was not available or the father was not available. And this pampering of it, what do you think should be the way forward, and how do we handle this?
Well, I want to agree with the first speaker who did justice to the discussion at first. A saying say, as you lay your bed, so you will lie on it. It is a great concern in the jet age that we say we are. Because why? We parents of this generation are failing in our responsibility.
Not failing. Many of us have failed.
Yes, the reason why I said so is because our parents, as of the time we were growing up, just like he said, a child is a child of the community.
Everybody.
If your child is going astray, a neighbor can say, stop it. And when the father or mother comes, he will go back and say, thank you.
Yes.
But for this generation today, it is a great concern. Because why? We feel that pampering a child is the way out. No, I usually tell the teachers who taught my kids in the primary, even in the secondary, when I walk to school for for open day, I would tell them, please, I give you the authority to beat my daughter when she goes wrong. I personally give you. Because why? we say, don't beat a child. But the Bible says, do not spare
the
rod. Because when you spare the rod,
Spoil it.
you will spoil the child. So at the end of it all, I feel that the way out is for we parents to go back to where our own parents started from. Our parents never spared us. Then why are we sparing our own kids? That's why we are getting it wrong. The truth about it is, if a child is not happy, let him not be happy. What you are saving for that child is the future. It is not the now. I usually tell my girls, look, if my mother never trained me well, by now your father will always complain every day. But your father will always sing it out for you. Your mother is not lazy. At this particular time, she's up the bed. She doesn't sleep until when everybody is on the bed. So you see that we are failed because we feel that give them this phone, buy them this dress. In fact, you go to parties, you see children wearing bomb shorts. You ask yourself, mothers, you mean you came out of your house
and you saw them from home,
prepared for a party that you have a lot of people in this party, and you feel the best you can wear for these children is spaghetti hand and a bomb shot. That is where they are getting it wrong. Showing your body does not make you beautiful. It makes you even more ugly.
That
True.
is it.
True.
When you begin to send this notion into the sensation of the children, they begin to get it right. They begin to get it right. Like the young ones who came on the program some time ago said it. It is what you imbibe in them
Yes.
that they give you out.
Yeah, exactly.
If the parents have been able to imbibe the right thing to the kids and they are cultured, they are well groomed, no matter what they say on social media, they will be able to say, this is wrong, this is right. And so they will follow suit. So basically, we have to go back to the drawing board as parents and begin to do it right. Don't spare them. When it is time to say no, please say no.
Yes, yes.
Don't say because the child is going to cry. I was doing my nails one day and a child was beating the mom, was hitting the mom, and the mom was laughing. And about 2 or 3 of us that were there that day, we screamed at the child and told her, if you do that again, I'm going to beat you. And the mother laughed. And I said to the mother, you condone this at home. Because you condone it at home, she's outside, she doesn't know it is wrong.
No boundaries.
Yeah, she doesn't know it is wrong because mommy takes it. So mommy, that is what you will not take. Please, right from the house, stop the child. Because once the child gets it into his system that this is wrong, then when he goes out there, he will be a good ambassador.
Very true.
Thank you very much, Lara. Ayo, how do you balance family life and career life? Because a lot of parents now are busy chasing money.
True.
They don't have time at all. They don't know the kind of friends their children keep, and they are just there. How do you balance this?
Well, it's a deliberate, effort and a deliberate action. You must know that you have one life to live and one time to, impact in anybody's life. Not only your kids, but people around you. I've seen places, I'm always, my wife, I'm happy, I'm married to Felicia and my wife. She's always conscious and careful. Anytime as a man, you just want to get everything done immediately. Even at home, probably you are distracted. You just want to make sure that everything is going smoothly. She tells me, come, baby, drop this phone. If you are eating, drop this phone. Let's talk. Let's
communicate.
Interact. Be present with us. Be present. Most times you think maybe because I'm at home, I'm present. You might be in a place and still be absent. So, consciously she calls me, please be present with us. Let's leave every work and let's talk. And deliberately, after some time, I realized that it's actually a deliberate act. You just don't feel I'm at home. Oh yeah, everybody. Stop making noise. Go to your, no. Be present with them. Follow them. Play with them. Engage them. Have some conversations with them. I have a 8-year-old child, girl. When she talks, sometimes you feel, hey, this one is coming from this girl. And it shows me that you have to be there with her and for her every time. You must be a friend. You must be,
now that she's just growing.
You just don't allow anybody to inject any information. And it's important as parents, to balance career and family. You are the first teacher. You are the first person to expose them to any information. If you don't expose them to it, accurate and correct information, if they grab it outside, they run with it. And before you can correct it, it will be so difficult and hard for you to do that. Because you had a chance. They believe you so much. When you say yes, they believe your yes should be your yes. And when you say no, they believe your no should be your no. So in balancing, career and family, it must be a deliberate effort. Try as much as possible to put in, the work will not run away. And trust me, even if you are working for anybody or working for yourself, may we all live long. If nobody is anymore, you are no more, that work will still continue. But your family will be your family forever.
Forever.
So you must put that time, create a time for them, make sure that you engage them. That is why even those Western world that we copy most, they also have respect for vacation.
Vacation, yes.
And that vacation is family time. It's going to be family time. If I'm going to go to Paris, we're going to make sure that no cousin, no uncle, no auntie is going to call us. We're out there. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So make sure that it's all about you and your family at that moment. When you say problem, mommy, daddy, like what they always say, problem will not finish.
It will not finish.
But until you address it step by step, then you make it, a conscious effort to address everybody. And family first. Every other thing can follow. So career will come, career will go. Eventually, they will say an icon in this particular profession. When they mention that name, what are you going to fall back to? Do you have a better home? Do you have a better family? You should ask yourself questions.
Thank you very much. Lara, you just said something about the way our children dress. If you look at social media,
Yes.
you see most of this Gen Z generation. They send their pictures, nude pictures online. They are not, even if you go around the streets of Abuja now, you see them, the way they dress, they can't bend down, you see what they wear. Some of them don't even wear pants again. Some don't wear bra. And when they were interviewed on social media, they said because it's not convenient. So they don't wear bra, they don't wear pants. And if you look at the society now, most of the people that are dressing abnormally are a particular religion. The other religion, you see them always coming up. Is it that we are not seeing, the parents are not seeing the way their children dresses, or what do you think is wrong?
Well, the Bible says if the foundation
Be destroyed.
be destroyed, what can the righteous do?
Okay.
Basically, like I said at first, foundation matters. And the truth about it is, our foundation has been faulty. The church, the mosques have a lot to do. We are shying away from our responsibility in as much as we have the family. The family makes up the religious body. We have the family have the smallest set. The church has a bigger set. But the fact remains that we need to find a way around this. Social media has a role to play. They are playing their role. But that shouldn't be the core thing. Our children are getting it wrong because they felt the core thing is the social media. Now, we as a church, as mosques, as family, we are to draw them back and make them understand.
But
This is a fake life.
The religious bodies pretend as if they don't know what is wrong. And most of the people involved in these activities are religious people.
Agreed.
Well, I think religious is actually different from a lifestyle. We've tagged religious as something that is a showcase outside, but a lifestyle is what you actually do. If you're a Christian, for example, it must reflect a Christ life.
Sure.
Not
In
just a
everything
title,
you do.
not when you fill a form, which religion. No, it's a lifestyle. So people must see that this is you
This
as a
is
Christ.
a Christian, this is a Muslim.
If you're a Muslim too, they must see that this is a true follower of Allah. And of course, you understand what it means to obey, to respect, your rights,
Your rights.
whenever the time comes. So it's beyond, that title. Everybody wants a title. In Africa, we love title. You hear some people will even use doctor, many, everything, just to get that attention. We won't put chief. to join those titles, you know. So, but you know, it's beyond that. It's beyond that title. It's all about culture and lifestyle. And it will also take me to, you know, one of the points that when she was talking, came to my head. Even the Western world, if you watch the culture we have, there is an African community out there.
Yes.
And they respect the culture, even more than we that we stay in Africa.
Of course.
You see, they'll tell you, if my African mother hears me, she's going to spank me, she's going to beat me. It's because they will not take nonsense.
They will not take nonsense.
And there is also a law in that place that protects the kids, the children. But it does not stop the parent from, you know, beating them, because when you spare the rods, you spoil the child.
True.
So we must understand that, no matter where we find ourselves,
We
that's
are still Africans.
that's our lifestyle, that's our culture, that's our belief.
Our
It's
values.
beyond religion, the title. It is who we are, and we must show it out there.
Thank you very much. We're still on family matters, on this sensitive matter. It's very sensitive issue that concerns the home. It's been discovered that parents are not so responsible for their children. They don't have the time. They're busy chasing money, and the children are left alone. Well, we're going on a break now. When we come back, we'll continue. Thank you. Yes. Wow. I trust that God is turning lives around everywhere, all over the world.
When God calls a man, God does not call a lazy man.
On heavenly things. Yes. Prayers be answered when we are not ready. Welcome back to Family Matters. I still remain your popular host, Pastor Dr. Mrs. Julie Onobiona. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Just like, share, and subscribe to Pastor Julie on YouTube, and you have all our programs there. We're still on this program, Family Matters. Last year, 2022, it was discovered that the rate of divorce was so high, and it is within this Genzy generation parents. In fact, statistics show that 16% of divorce cases last year in 2022 had to do with all these generation parents. What do you think this generation parents should do to reduce the high rate of divorce? Because when the parents are separated, their children are worse hits. What advice do you have for parents? Because in our own generation, we endured ourselves. We were patient. We condone a lot of things. But you discover that this generation are not ready to condone nonsense. So what is your advice for the Gen Z?
Well, you know, very, thank you. Very interesting question. You know, I actually tried as much as possible to also do a little research as regards this, and I noticed that it's the aftermath of COVID-19. Why did I say that? The lockdown. It actually exposed many couples to the side they never saw before. Those that could not tolerate each other, those that could not live, 24 hours together for a long period of time, lived that 24 hours together and realized that, Kai, is this a man I married? Is this a lady I married? And a lot of, secrets started exposing each other. So the aftermath actually moved from 2021 to 2022, and it's now, most of them could not cope again. They felt maybe they could, work it out for first year, second year. Just part of that, it happened. Then two, is also part of a force, like you already said, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Any foundation or any relationship that, begins with falsehood will definitely crash. Who you think you are not, don't ever expose or present yourself as such. Who you know you are not, don't expose yourself to such. Because when marriage, I love you, courtship is different from I'm married to you. When I'm married to it's reality. It's no more. I used to use cologne. If you don't bath every day, it will be exposed because you will not run away. You are there every day. So if you know you cannot cope, if you know you cannot, settle for this less that you have as a relationship when you start, don't even go for it. Make sure that you spell it out yourself and tell yourself, this is what I can tolerate, this is what I can't tolerate. You talked about, your generation, you were able to hold on to every challenge and challenges that came, your way. But this generation, nobody wants to stay. In fact, this generation, you hear a lot of people say, I prefer to have a baby mama, a baby father, than being in that relationship or married for life. So this is the kind of exposure that many of these young or all this young generation have exposed themselves to. So it's also part of what is affecting. So people don't see divorce as anything again. They see it as I move on. And the social media influencers too have also added to to the salt. They've also added spice to it. So when they have any issue at home, they take it to the social media. And they say they brag with it. Come, I can live without you. I move on.
In those days, if you hear divorce, it's like a taboo.
It's a taboo.
And no, it must not happen. You just have to endure.
Ma, do you know that most people that go through that, if you talk to them, they'll tell you it's not easy to be a single mother. It's not easy to be separated. It's not easy to divorce. They will not tell you the truth on the social media. They will put the makeups and tell you I've moved on. But truly in their heart, they're not.
Going through pain.
And it's affecting the kids.
That reminds me, I have a friend somewhere, and I visited her. She's a single mother. She divorced some years back. And when I was sharing my story with her, she said, "You mean you went through all this and you are still in the marriage?" I said, "Yes, because of God and my children." Because God initiated this marriage institution, and He has His rules and regulations. But we're not ready to obey the rules and regulations, and that's why we are having crisis in our marriages. Once God is absent from your marriage, then that marriage will definitely crash. And social media, a lot of people get cancers from social media.
And it's a fake life anyway.
It is.
It's a fake life. It's a fake lifestyle.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
So on that note,
I know she wants to add though. She wants to add to it.
Well, you see, upbringing again is a great factor to a child who is going to be able to endure in marriage. We saw our mothers, even while they were going through their own odd time, they still stay in the marriage because of us. We grew up seeing this and knowing it. But unfortunately, I think money, lifestyle, social media, westernization, enlightenment has crept into so many lives that they have come to see it that divorce is just anything.
And they celebrate it.
Yes.
They now celebrate divorce.
Yes.
They even throw a party and say
now.
a year after or whatever.
But I think the way out is just for us to go back again
to God.
To God.
Yes. And
He said from the beginning it was not so.
Like that.
Because our permissive will is what we are always after. And at the end of the day, we'll crash. If the foundation of the marriage is not solid on Christ, the tendency of its crashing is high.
But the gate of hell will prevail.
Yes, but the way to only salvage it is, it takes two to tango. And then it takes two to endure. Knowing that after the tunnel, there is a light.
True.
There is no one who is telling you my marriage is rosy. My husband gives me 100,000. The husband will not be giving her more than 5,000. But because she wants to blow it, she wants to make it beautiful. She wants to look nice. She wants to make you feel good. That it is, look, my house is, it is all well. And then you go there and destroy your own. Don't you think the Bible that says a foolish woman uses her own hand to destroy?
Yes.
But the wise one will always build her own. That's why in Proverbs 30, it talks about the virtuous woman.
He said, who can find A virtuous woman. For her price
Is worth
more
Like
than
more than
that.
rubies.
gold. Because why? That virtuous woman was going through something, but she endured.
She endured.
Knowing that the end is going to be beautiful.
True.
When you see people
And you
mark,
know what that virtuous woman does? The Bible says she wakes up as early as 2
before,
a.m.
yes,
before every other person
And
to prepare.
she
And
prepare
she
in
travels
prayers
so
and everything.
far to fend for her family.
Virtuous
that's
woman.
why I said, if you look at people marking 50 years in marriage, 40 years in marriage, if you ask them behind the curtains,
Well, my
they
own
have a
marriage
lot
is going
to
to be
say.
40 years very, very soon. Very,
Congratulations.
very, very soon. So,
Yeah, and
all to the glory of God. Oh.
yes.
So many things underneath.
Yes.
God has been.
And you know,
Say
God,
so.
God is love.
Yes.
So when you say God, you're talking about the love.
Love.
So it's
And
all
so
about God.
if you don't love your fellow wife, then how do you tell God you love him? Well, on this note, we are going to shut the curtains. It's been so interesting. The whole idea is for us to have a happy home in 2023. And you know what? 1 Peter 3:7 says, husband and wife, join your hands together so that your prayers will not be hindered. Once you are united as one body, anything you lay your hands on to do this year will definitely prosper. And that is why we want to encourage you to forget about whatever happened in 2022. Start a fresh life in Christ in 2023. Join hands together with your wife, with your children. Be an available father. Even the few time you have with your children, spend it very well with them. Love your wife unconditionally. Wife, be submissive to your husband, and make sure you don't allow social media to have influence on your marriage. On this note, I want to say a big thank you for still staying tuned to watch Family Matters. Don't forget to follow us on our social media at Pastor Julie. God bless you and see you next time. To obey God that instituted marriage. How do I help him to do well?